focus on my exam, otherwise my exam will be like.
Yeah, sir. One day, what happened when they were offline schools? There was a Hindi dictation. So there was a child named Adit. He was my friend. But when the teacher go to his desk, she saw that he has taken out his book and he was speaking from there.
Online.
No, sir, in the offline. Oh,
Okay.
I want to say this.
So your results will be coming after Holi.
Yes, sir. Mine will be coming on 19.
Abhay, what was your percentage last time?
Sir, it was we don't have it in percentage. Last time I think I have A plus.
A plus average.
Yeah, sir.
A plus was your average grade of all the papers.
No, sir. A plus is not average. It is the
No,
top
no.
one.
A plus was the measure of all your papers, all your.
Yes, sir. But in the dancing, music, singing, I have A.
And what was your best score in which paper?
Sir, in mathematics.
Okay, very good. Maths is the gateway to lots of very paying careers.
Yes,
If you
sir.
are good in maths,
Yes, sir.
you can get into a secure career very soon. So sharpen your maths.
Yes, sir.
You are in 4th standard, na?
Yes, sir.
Have they started with algebra?
No, sir. We have not started from F of algebra, but my mother has taught me about it.
Okay, very good.
Sir, can I start on the topic?
No, before that, let me announce we teachers have selected you, Bhavya, as the best student of the month. I had announced this on the WhatsApp also, but your prize money could not be sent because we have not received your Paytm number. The number you sent is not active on Paytm. So Sanjay, will you be able to do it?
Yes, sir. I am here only, sir. I tried to connect with the Paytm, but that number was not mapped with the account number. So tomorrow I will map this number with Aadhaar and her account number. After that, it will be.
It's very easy. You have to download the app and give your Aadhaar number and any bank account number.
Yes, sir.
And it will be
So we
active.
tried a lot, but when we just put the Aadhaar number or that driving license or voter ID, but it was not connected. The app was having some glitch, and that app just shut down again and again.
Okay. In case you find any problem with Paytm, you can also download Bheem app. They will be able
Bheem
to
app,
help
sir?
on that. Yes, Bheem app is government's app. It's connected to bank account. Okay. Now, before we come to today's topic, no, first of all, we shall all give a clap to Bhavya. So
Yes, sir.
let's all clap for him. Hearty
Thank you, sir.
congratulations, Bhavya. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
You are the youngest member and the best. So it's doubly complimentary. Very good. Well done.
Thank you, thank you, sir.
You said you want to become an IAS officer?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Good, very good. Now, Before we come to today's topic, let us have a quick recall of what we discussed last time on in I think my session we discussed how to strengthen family was discussed in Friday's session.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
on
sir.
on Friday, the topic was how the family bonding are changing, how to strengthen them.
And in my session on Monday, we discussed
So
Sir, we discussed ethical standards
Please,
have
no,
declared
Bhavya,
over time.
Bhavya, I have repeatedly told you that you must wait for the speaker to finish the sentence. Only then raise your hand, okay? I think last time in my session on Monday, we discussed the positives and negatives of the Indian culture. Yes, Bhavya, you want to say something? Now you can say.
Sir, the topic was ethical standards were declared over time.
Have declined over time. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. That was on in the Tuesday's class, I think, but on Monday
No,
we had
sir, it was
anyway.
not on the what that.
So let us recall what Bhavya mentioned among the negatives. What is the biggest negative in Indian culture? We are all proud of Indian culture. We have very great traditions like our tolerance, of which we can be very proud. But there are some negatives like, just mention one. Request you to come forward with anything you remember from that class. Gaurav, lovely.
Sir,
Yes,
can I
Gaurav.
speak?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
please. What is the one negative feature in our Indian culture which you think should be
Good evening,
corrected?
sir. So, yes, sir. So, good evening, sir. Sir, one of the negative aspect of our Indian culture is that, sir, it is the discrimination. That's we discriminate the people. We discriminate among the people. Like we have the most common examples, the sir reservations for jobs and for admissions in schools, colleges. So, sir, it
Okay,
is a
good.
very negative impact.
Good, very good. Actually, I must just make one correction. Discrimination is there in most cultures. You must be knowing Chinese are, in fact, oppressing their Muslim minorities in a very big way. In the West also, they have racism. So discrimination is there in all cultures. But in India, we have one form which is very unique to India. Yes, Bhavya.
Sir, caste.
Yes, very good.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good.
I want to say that I give the idea, but she speak that.
Oh,
Doesn't matter, doesn't matter.
sir, he's lying that was my idea. Just
No,
from
I say that because in the last speech also I
No, beta,
memorized it and see
this is
that.
a small thing. It must have occurred to both of you, so it's okay. You can just mention that Sushi also had the idea at the same time. So compliments to you both. Very good. So now we come to today's topic, and the today topic is how to score better in exams. So who will start?
Sir,
Sir,
can
can I
Bhavya
Bhavya
start?
Khushi?
Sir, can Bhavya start?
Okay, Bhavya, you start. 2 minutes
Namaste.
only. Okay, 2 minutes.
Okay, sir. Namaskar, sir, and my dear friends. I am Bhavya. Today, I want to speak on this topic. Exam time is here. If you want to do well in your exam, there is lot of different things you can do to set yourself up for success. this speech, this thing I'm speaking is telling you the difference of coming tests and the coming paper you are giving in your school and colleges. So let us take up some tips from which you can score good marks in your paper. Sir, we should pay attention in the class so we can think that what the teacher is telling to us. Second, we should study smart, not hard. It is because to achieve this, you must first have the knowledge of the certain things. In the other words, the first step is very basic step to continue your pathway to studying smart. The following step are the guidelines to studying smart. Spend at least half an hour to at least give half an hour to a sub daily topic. In the last, I want to say that if I always remember that relate ideas and concepts rather than focusing entirely on memorizing. Memorization doesn't help when a certain question is twist. To relate concepts and idea, you need to find your own way to relating them together. And we should understand the question, and we should understand what is the demand of that question, and then we can score good marks by writing and thinking on the question. So in the last, I want to say thank you.
Okay, good. Bhavya, I would like to point out that you twice use the phrase in the last. I would like to mention in the end, not in the last. Okay,
Okay, sir.
what will you say?
In the end.
In the end, I would like to, or you can say lastly. Lastly, I would like to mention.
Okay, sir.
Okay, not in the last. Why? Do you understand why this is wrong? This is wrong because last is adjective. Okay, so either you should say, make it an adverb and say lastly I would like to mention, or you can say in the end. You have to use the noun. In the end I would like to mention. Okay,
Okay, sir.
now next, who would like to speak? How to score well in exams?
So can I have a question?
Yes, Khushi, yes, go ahead.
So as we all know that exam times are going on in every school, so like every student needs some points for their score good marks. So I have some tips for scoring good marks in their exams, such as pay attention in class. Like if we used to pay attention in class, it may help our brain to just settle it down, and we should write good notes about it, and just we have to come home and just think about that, just used to memorize what ma'am has tell in our class. The second, study hard, study smartly, because study hard is not a good way to achieve your goal in your life. And third, take good notes. Like we used to just read the book and just we have to just memorize in our brain, but it's not a good idea. We just wrote it down and just used to read them again and again, and at least spend a heart to revise the notes and the books like that are coming in your exam. It may help you in your exam. And third, that take breaks in between after 40 to 50 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, it may help you to memorize everything that you have learned. And the last one, close your eyes and just memorize, just read and just write it down what you have learned, or just think about it and just write it down in your notebook. Thank you.
Okay, good. I would just like to correct one sentence that you used. Exam times are going on.
Yes.
What is the better usage? Exams are going on. Okay,
Okay, so
not exam times are going on. exams are going on, or you can say exam time is here. Not times, exam time is
Okay,
here.
sir.
Good. Next, please volunteer. Raise your hand who would like to speak and switch on your video. Yes, Gaurav.
Sir, can I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. I would like to put my views on this topic, how to students get good marks in the exams. So first method, I would like to say that the first method is the use of 3R technique. Sir, in this method, 3R stands for first R stands for the sir read the information. The student must carefully read the information what they have read. The second R is stand for second R stands for the reciting. That after reading the information, the student have to recite the information again and again. And the last and one of the most important R is review. That after reciting or reading the information, the student must review the information so that he or she can memorize the information. So next is a study before bed. So according to and research, it is declared that the studying before the bed will enhance your memory and helps to memorize the information for a long term. So now, sir, the next step is sir, the next way is repetition. Sir, it is one of the most important point that after gaining or reading the information, the student must repeat the information after an hour or after an 2 hours so that if he forgets some points, so he memorize them again and again so that it will store for a long-term memory. So next is mixing the subject. Like sir, yes, it is true. While studying a subject for more than around 2 hours or 3 hours, the student gets bored. So he or she gets feel lazy. So to avoid this, the student must have to mixing up the subjects. Like first he study maths for 2 or 3 hours, so then he must change the subject like English or social, etc. And sir, the one of the most important point is the practice, practice, practice. There is a famous quote: "Practice makes a man perfect." Yes, it's true. As more we practice, the more we become fine, and more we become perfect. And sir, at last I would like to add few more points.
Gaurav, your frame is frozen. We can't hear you. Gaurav, we can't hear you. Your frame is frozen. Either you reconnect. Meantime, Lovely, you can start.
Yes, sir. Am I visible?
Yes, you are visible.
Exams are the practice test for whatever you have learned. Few of us get worried thinking about the exams, but you have to push yourself up and keep on doing hard work because hard work pays off. If we want to score good in exams, we have to work hard. Hard work is the key to go to success. But sometimes many of us get tensed. Some parents pressurize their children to bring good marks, due to which children have a lot of pressure and they cannot concentrate on their studies. But I think parents should understand that just because of society, they should not pressure their child, as sometimes due to this, children get depressed and they cannot connect with the particular subjects they want to study. Parents should motivate their children. Motivating children will help them bring their best. Self-study is the best option to recollect the everything. Making a strict timetable and following it regularly, working hard will make you achieve good marks in exams. At the end, I would say that exam marks are just numbers. They cannot define your future. Knowledge is important, not marks. Thank you.
Good, Lovely. You made a very good point. Gaurav, yes, please start
Sorry to
again.
interrupt, sir, but as I completed my views, sir, I was disconnected according to for the internet problem. So, sir, what are my mistakes? Can you please repeat, sir?
No, you were speaking well, but I'll come to the general point. Although you make a very good point, we need to study smart rather than study hard. But many of you are still mentioning those points which go to the hard work prescription. For example, you said practice and practice and practice. You said you have a time schedule, and all these are points about hard work. About smart work, and especially about writing smartly, I'll come to my suggestions in the end. Next, Gagan.
Can I start, sir?
Yes, switch on your video.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, can I start?
Yes. Please start and switch your video on.
Sir, I am audible and visible.
Yes.
Sir, my video is on, sir. Good
Now you
morning,
are on.
everyone. Today I'm here to present my views on today's topic, and today's topic is how to get good score in how to get better score in exams. Sir, as we all know, every human being has as a student has to pass in a student life, and every student there is a dream of every student that he or she wants to get good marks in exams. And
Yes, go ahead.
sir, I am audible. Sir,
Yes.
connection issue हो गया था sir मेरा.
Okay. It doesn't matter. You are
So,
now audible.
can I start again, sir? Yes, sir. So, sir. So, sir, as I'm saying that every human being in this world has to go from the student phase, the student's life, and the dream of every student is that to score good marks, and every student that he or she always wants that he gets very excellent marks, like above 90%, or he or she wants to become a topper, that everyone encourages him and give blessings, and they claps and they supports them that you are scoring good, and you get a very successful job, and your success and your future is very bright. And sir, there are lots of ways for getting good marks, and there are as a and few of the ways are I want to discuss that. First work is, sir, both hard work and smart work to get good marks, sir. Every student has to do both hard work and smart work, like uh, in smart work, that he in exams he firstly he attempts those questions which he knows perfectly, and hard work is that he or she has to practice a lot, and manage its schedule, its time, to complete its paper, so that he or she gets the good marks. And sir, to get good marks, not even the studies also matter, but a proper sleep and meal is also important for every individual, that how much he or she sleeps, and how the food he takes, and how he lives his life in a whole day. And sir, to get good marks, he or she has to develop his new ideas, so that the teacher impressed by his answer, and give him good marks, so that he can score much better and better day by day. And sir, to get more marks, uh, sir, to get good marks, every student has to manage the time limit also, that how he schedules his plan, and the what time limit he sets to do his paper, and how he or she attempts his paper so that he can score better and better in his exams. So sir, according to me, these are all factors which affect in increasing the marks of an student, sir.
Very good, Gagan. You mentioned lots of points and you were closer to the main topic, how to score better rather than just work better. It's not a question of just
Sure,
working
sir.
harder, but being very intelligent about getting marks on the basis of your work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you repeated some points like managing time, etc. Repetition should be avoided. Okay, next, Sanjay, would you like to add something?
Yes, sir. Sir, good evening. Can I add few points
evening.
in?
Yeah,
sir?
please.
Sir, how to get good marks? It's an art, actually. And there are some basic steps by which, and adopting them, we can increase our marks. One is we have to understand the syllabus of the subject. Second, error-free writing. And we should clearly write. Means the writing skill is most important, and factual answer what is the demand of the question we have to understand. For example, if question is what is the cause of the 1857 revolt, and we start to write the history, why it was happened, where it was happened, there is no meaning of extra information to give for the particular question. We have to read the instructions first. What is the demand of the question, and in how many words we have to conclude our answer? Because sometimes we started to write and the main points we left. After writing and we do not have the space, we rethink, oh, this point we have forgotten the point. So time management, writing skill, and writing should be very means clear and error free. Error free means the spelling mistake and the grammatical mistake cannot be found in the answer. So we can increase our marks, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Quite to the point. Your presentation was even more focused on exactly what can be done to avoid losing marks. Rita, you are a teacher. You would like to say something? Please enlighten the students.
Devesh, I'm doing some work presently, and
Okay.
some things I remember is like how to when you write in your answer sheets. I teach English, so I tell my students that you take section wise questions, and your number of your answer number should exactly match with it. If you're opting answer 3 first, so it should be specifically mentioned in the margin, and leave a line after every answer. Devesh, I'm talking about the topic or I'm Hayward? Like scoring marks ka topic hai
Yeah,
na?
this is very important. Yes.
Haan.
And how you get irritated? Why do you give bad low marks? You can that will be very useful.
Haan. Or like every question when if there's no negative marking, I tell my students that sensibly opt for all the answers. Don't write, trash or rubbish, but opt if there's no negative marking. So you should not leave any answer. And moreover, like margin ka I've told, and then the space after every answer of yours, leave one line so that teachers can notice specifically that you are now doing 17th answer or you're doing 15th answer, so it should be visible properly.
Very important.
These are some points I tell my students before board exam, that be very particular that everything is visible, whatever you are doing, and if I'll recollect something, I'll tell you. I'm doing some bank work.
This is very useful. Thank you. Dipanshu, would you like to say something? You are also very successful and hardworking. Okay. Now, I would like to mention a few points. You have all brought up some that are very useful, but some especially regarding your approach after you are sitting on the desk handling the question paper. Those points I would like to especially add. Lovely, you want to say something?
Yes, sir, I want to add one more point.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So one should give time to physical activities during exams because being physically fit will help them concentrate on their studies.
Yes, very good. In fact, this should be a daily habit. You must do some, either play some game or do some yoga or any physical uh, exercise, stretches, etc. Because too much mental work, especially when it is sedentary work, which we do while sitting, is bad for physical health. So to balance that, our civilization, one of the best things apart from tolerance in our culture is the discovery of yoga. Yoga is a gift to the world from our civilization. We shall all do a bit of yoga, like our Prime Minister also says, especially for those who are studious, who are working for IAS, etc. This should be a habit in your daily routine. Now, let me mention some points. See, this topic does not ask us to talk about hard work, timetable, schedule, etc. Those are known points. Of course, we should be hardworking and we should manage our time very well. But beyond, good suggestions are those which go beyond motivation and discipline, etc. By noting these points, I hope you will all note them down. This will help you a lot, otherwise you will forget. See, about motivation, let me say something. Reading good literature and watching some nice movies, etc., help us by deepening our motivation level. This motivation level is very important. But now, coming to the topic, see, you must try to imagine how are your papers corrected. There is a pile of sheets before correcting features, and generally in the summer months and when people feels more sleepy also, and we cannot expect that every teacher will be very sincerely reading every line. So your impression, especially your first page, is very important. Write very legibly and clearly on the all through, but especially on your first page, and don't mess up or make any mistakes in writing your roll number, etc. I have seen students who had taken the exam very well, but just by making a small error in their roll number or in their examination question paper number has to be written. Even those small mistakes led them to having to repeat the paper. Their whole year was wasted. So before the writing begins, you are given generally 15 minutes to complete your bio information on the question paper. You are not never to write your name. That will be taken very adversely by the examiner. But all your other information should be very correctly jotted down. Okay? Be careful about this. Secondly, read the question paper very carefully and tick what questions you are going to attend and in what order. You number them. You don't have to do the first question first. Your first answer should be the best one. So take that question, unless I don't think question papers prohibit you from altering the order of your answering. So if you are given that freedom, write that answer which you know the best. Because most examiners are very careful in your first few pages. And if they get a good impression, they are generous towards you. Okay, so this trick will help you a lot. Secondly, handwriting is very important. You don't have to be decorative or very beautiful. Handwriting is not required, but you should be very legible, easy to read. Write, don't write too large or too small font. Average, but write fast. Practice writing very fast, and don't leave any question ever. If you are running short of time, at least attempt all the questions, even if you have to leave midway your second last answer, etc. Don't leave any question unanswered, because if your first two answers are good, for example, generally teachers are trying to help you once they are impressed with your initial answers. If you have not attempted your last question at all, they can't help. They can't give you any marks. But even if your last two answers have incomplete but some content, then they can be a little generous to you. So never leave any question unanswered. Manage your time such. Actually, all should be given equal time. You must time your answers, how many minutes are available for each, and write very fast. I used to make this mistake. My handwriting was very slow. So I used to not do very well till my BA. Then I realized, and I was able to do very well in my MA. Slightly large handwriting, write fast, and very clear. It should be readable. It doesn't have to be decorative. And do the best answer that you know first in that sequence. Leave the least understood question for the last. Fourthly, another point is that if you are writing descriptive answers, not the objective types, you must make paras, change paras frequently. Okay? Because generally teachers, while examining, read the way you are beginning your para and underline the most important one or two words in each para, because they don't want to read everything line by line. But if you know your answers, if you're writing well, please underline. Don't circle, just simple one underline below the key word in each para. This will help you a lot. Another point is that if you have to write a long answer, say 3-4 pages, then it is a good idea to make a small blueprint at the last page of your answer sheet, which should be called, which should be given the heading of rough work. Okay, and in very quickly, just with the number of the answer, you make a quick blueprint or what points are to be mentioned, and then number those points. Okay, whatever is coming to your mind.
Working in progress.
Okay, so the point of my last point that I have to resume now, that your in long answers, a lot of points have to be mentioned. No point should be left out, and also they should be ordered in a very systematic manner. What should come first? How your answer should have a logical flow. Each para should logically flow from the previous one. For this, it is useful to make a blueprint. Whatever is coming to your mind, just note down all the points on the last page of your rough work and then number them. No, this point is not third, but this should be first. This should come in the end, last, etc. I hope this point is clear. This is a very important technique to improve your long answers.
Yes, sir.
Lastly, you should know how to make the introduction and conclusion, especially of long answers. You must have a proper introduction and conclusion. This is not required in short answers, which is generally the norm in current times. But sometimes they give you long essay type questions. For that, you should need to know how to make an introduction, how to make a conclusion. Introduction can be made in three ways. Either introduction should be very good. If you have a sparkling, shining introduction, it makes a very good impression. So there can be three ways of doing this. Either easiest way and the best way is to start with the importance of the topic. Suppose I'll give an example. Suppose there is a question on the rebellion of 1857 in India. So you have been asked what were the causes of the 1857 rebellion. You will not straight away go into the causes. You will start with the importance of the rebellion. The rebellion of 1857 has a historic place in India's history. Or you can say the rebellion of 1857 is etched in Indians' memory as the first war of Indian independence against the British. Okay, so this is about importance of the topic. You can start with that sentence, or you can start with the historical background of that event. You are not going straight away into causes which has been asked, but first line, not very long, but just first sentence can be introductory. And the second way to make introduction is to start with the historical background. In May 1857, Northern India was seething with anti-colonial protests and feelings on a large scale. So this is the historical background. Okay. Third way of starting introduction can be by defining a very critical term. If there is any conceptual word in the question, then you can start by defining it. So in this, for example, the question uses the word rebellion. So you can start by defining rebellion. Rebellion in a society happens not just when there are many grievances, but also an organization to lead protests. So that is the definition of rebellion. And then on you can start such a rebellion. One such rebellion happened in India in 1857. So this will be your definitional introduction. You understood three ways to start introduction? Now, how to make a conclusion? Conclusion shall be very short, and you just return to the question, read the question again, and answer just accordingly. So for example, you have been asked what were the causes of the rebellion of 1857. So you will write in the end, concluding line, new para. In the light of above points, we can conclude that the rebellion of 1857 had both economic, political, and social causes behind it. Okay? Get the point? Just read the question and pointedly answer that in a balanced way. Don't be very one-sided. For example, if you say the rebellion of 18, therefore we can conclude by saying the rebellion of 1857 was primarily motivated by economic factors. Now, this will be very one-sided. Suppose your examiner does not agree with you, so that conclusion will make you lose marks. So be balanced. We are saying it was motivated by economic, political, as well as social factors. Okay, safe, balanced conclusion and targeting the very question in the end. So I hope you have understood how to make introduction and conclusion, how to what to do when you are in the examination hall. Don't be nervous. Just read the question paper carefully. Before you get the question paper, you will get the answer sheet. Jot down your details, roll number, etc. very carefully in neat handwriting. And if you are using supplementary sheets, don't forget to tie them properly. Sometimes they get detached. So you will unnecessarily lose lots of marks if your supplementary sheets are detached. Also, write down the number of supplementary sheets you have used on the first page. And once you get the question paper, read all the questions carefully, pick the ones that you are going to answer, and in what order. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first question I will answer third. Last question I'll answer first because I know it best. Do that. Okay. And generally, in long answer questions, it is difficult to start make the first sentences. For that, I have given you the trick how to make the introduction to a long answer. That will help you a lot. And of course, you must be knowing that objective type questions are more easy to obtain marks from. So you can attempt the objective, whatever you will fetch you better marks, you do those questions first. Let me see if I have left out something. Write very fast, underline 1 or 2 words in each para, make lots of paras, make a blueprint of long answer questions. Yeah, in the end, don't forget to give at least 5 minutes to revision. As Sanjay mentioned, your answers should be pointed, focus on the question that has been asked. But if you don't know the precise answer, suppose the question is asking the effects of 1857 rebellion, but you don't recall effects, you know something about the causes. So at least write something. Okay, don't leave the question unanswered. But if you know the precise answer, focus on that only. Causes can be mentioned very, very briefly, not more than 4 or 5 lines. Then come to the effects, if the effects have been asked.
Yeah, sir, we should understand what is the demand of the question, and that way we should be answering.
That's why I said, once you get the question paper, first of all, read it very carefully and understand which questions you know better and which one you know best. So start with that on the first page. Your first page makes a big impression.
Yes, sir.
And last point I would like to mention is that, you should play idle. You should be very careful about ideological traps. Ideological means political views. Suppose there is a question on Gandhi. You must understand that some people may be very against Gandhi. So you should be a little balanced in your views. Okay. Generally, Gandhi nobody is against. Even the rightist parties are today realizing Gandhi was a very great leader. But be a little ideologically safe. Don't be leftist or rightist. In some other class, I will explain what does left and right mean. but I hope you have got some idea what is meant by being ideologically safe. Yes, Khushi, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. I want to say that we should not listen to the other people who do not want to just. Uh,
Sorry, what did you say?
Sir, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
So I want to say, do not listen to other that tell you that you can't do it before the exams.
Don't get, very good. Don't get discouraged by anyone. Just focus on your hard work. Sanjay, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Few points I willing to add here.
Yeah, please.
One is what I feel most important point, as we are discussing about the 1857 revolt. So if in the map, in our answer, draw a map, this is the area where it was started. So it will the positive impact on of the teacher, and we can get good marks. If we use the sometime table also, how many people, if we have the facts, it will also help us to get the good marks. Sometime we observe students write, विद्यार्थी वो लिखता है जो उसको आता है, वो क्वेश्चन में क्या पूछा है उसके ऊपर ज्यादा फोकस नहीं करता है. तो वी हैव टू rethink about it, and as per the demand of the question draft, make some part of the questions. Means if there are 2 or 3 lines, the cause of 1857 revolt. So first of all, what is the revolt, 1857, the impact, and who started, where it was started. So if we break down the question, then it will help us to define and give the concrete answer of the question, and it will also maybe help us to get good marks, sir.
Okay. You made a very good suggestion about maps and tables. I had missed this point. This is also very good. Wherever you can make a map, you should make. Table, you should be very careful, because table means data. If you are very sure about your data, and you can also write source from which you have gathered that data below the table, then use a table. It's very good. That will be very, very impressive. But if you are not sure about data, for example, you want to mention how many states saw rebellions against the British in 1857. So you have 2 columns: states where the rebellion started, states where the rebellion was huge, states which did not see any rebellion. So you have a table. But suppose you are not sure, then don't make a table, because your teacher will then see any error. Data error is very conspicuous. Conspicuous, you understand? Very highly visible. So that will reduce your score, hit your score badly. But map, yes, and you should all be able to make the India's map as well as world map very quickly, within 2-3 minutes. Please practice. This is not difficult at all. If you will practice, you will be able to very easily make the map of India, world's map, America's map, Europe's map. All these maps you should be able to make very fast, and any such map will fetch you extra marks. So yes, Sanjay made a very good point. But the second point that Sanjay made about covering events, effects, etc., there I would like to caution, be very clear what the question is asking. If the question is on effects, then you can have at the most 1 short para on the beginning of the revolt. Okay, don't go beyond that unless you have lots of time. Come to the effects very quickly. Whatever is being asked, or suppose the question is on causes, then you don't have to write effects, except maybe in the end write 2-3 lines. Okay, so be clear. what the question is asking. Questions are generally about three things: causes of an event, effects of an event, or the nature of an event. What does nature of an event means? Was the rebellion of 1857 a mutiny or a war of independence? So this is a question on nature of the event. Okay. Now,
Devesh,
Rita, you want to add something?
Devesh, I can remember that you used to make summaries and write down point wise. Like we can slog before a month or 2 months before the exams. But in the when you are going to appear for your exam 2-3 days before, then you can just go through your summarized notes. What you
Yes.
used to do it now. So I also practice this, and I tell my students also. Just like I take English. So in English, like whatever chapter I tell my students, this first of all you write the name of the chapter, then the character's name in the chapter, then places mentioned, Berlin, Germany, whatever, and then a summary in points, so that brushing up when you'll go for your exam, going to appear for your exam 1 day prior, you can just have a glimpse of it, and everything will come as a picture when you'll be writing the answer in the exam. So I do it like this since many years. I have seen you, I practice this thing, so it was very useful for me.
Yes, thank you, Rita. This is, of course, but I think this is another side of the topic: how to prepare well. Today's topic was how to score well, that is, how to write in the examination hall. Tomorrow, let's have a discussion on how to prepare for the exam in advance: how to read, how to think, how to remember, memorize, how to organize your prepared answers, what to write, what in points, what to write in full sentences, etc. So tomorrow, let us discuss this. Rita, tomorrow is your class, no?
No, Divesh, tomorrow is Tuesday.
Tomorrow is October.
My,
So you will be
mine
coming
is
on
Friday.
Friday. So on Friday, Rita will discuss this point. This is also very important. Many things have to be intelligently organized while preparing for the exam. Today's topic was how to score well, that is, how to write in the examination hall, what all to keep in mind. But
And Divesh, you have
this
taken a
is
very
in this, another faculty of our mind is required. When you are in the examination hall, it is the quick responses that are important. But when you are memorizing and understanding your textbooks, etc., another side of your brain is required, that is slow thinking, slow but hard thinking. Okay, those kinds of points are slightly different. In examination hall, alertness is very important, and slowness is very, very harmful. You have to be very alert, very quick, and focused. But when you are remembering, you are more relaxed, you have more time, but you have to let the information seep in your brain, in your memory very well and in a very organized manner. On that aspect, there are a whole lot of tips again. These we will discuss, as Rita mentioned just now. Two of the points are there. There are many more. We will discuss them on Friday. Now, I'd like to check who can recall the points brought forth today. This is a check of your attention and your memory and your expression as well. Who can just
Sir, can
review?
Bhavya?
Bhavya, will you be able to
Sir,
recall all the points?
sir, I think that I can recall all the points.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Today we talked about that. We think that we should not see the other people who what they are saying about us. We should focus on us. We should not be hurt with anyone's thing that what he or she tell to us, and we should be focusing on our work, and we should not focus on the others.
No, you just mentioned
Can
one
I-
point. I'm saying,
Can-
can you reiterate or
Yes,
recall
sir.
all the points mentioned today about scoring well? What are the other tips given today?
Sir, you give the tips about the papers.
So
We
you
should-
said that if we don't does not understand any one question, so we just not waste our time on that single question. We should just move on the other question, and in the last we should just have a look on that, and we have to try to understand what the question demands, and just we have to solve it.
What else? I gave you 10 points.
yes, sir. After that, you say that
Lovely. Can you recall?
give the example of 1857 war. You say that
Properly. And when we get our answer sheet, we should write a name, roll number, and everything properly on this.
Yes, that is very important. Some people harm themselves by not giving the information correctly. Don't be
And you
distracted.
said, yeah.
Your first page is very important. What else did I tell?
So while using supplement sheet, we should tie the knot tightly. If knot will be loose, then the
Double knot. Double knot.
Yeah.
Don't ever leave them on a single knot. Okay.
then the paper maybe just fall down by chance fall down, so your answer will be no more visible to them, and your marks will be cut.
What else? I gave 10 points.
yes, sir.
First answer, the best answer you have chosen
Yeah.
you should opt for the first as a first answer. And legible handwriting, Devesh, and blueprint of long answers, especially para wise, and conclusion and this thing beginning should be very remarkably good. And you explained everything, Devesh, very properly, and I have to jot it down many points.
Lovely. What were you saying?
Yes, sir, I said about writing the roll number and name, class on the properly. I said this point. And reading the question paper properly.
Yes. Very good.
So we should not be worried by seeing the paper. We should just be normal in our nature.
That you have mentioned already, beta.
Yes, sir. I
gave
do
some-
so that we should attempt every question whether we know it or not.
That's very important. Never ever leave any question unanswered. For that, you
Devesh,
have to time yourself well. Also, I mentioned write very fast. Don't
Yes,
get
the time
paralyzed
limit.
or nervous, or don't be slow. Keep on writing very fast. Practice
Yes.
that.
Yes, sir. You
Once
said
you have
that.
made that a habit, it won't be difficult. But if you don't make that habit, I used to make this a huge mistake. I actually write very small. My handwriting used to be very small, and I used to write very slowly. Don't make that mistake. I used to get very average marks all through my graduation till I learned this about this flaw. Okay, so
Yes, sir. You said that.
write fast, write legibly.
Write fast and
not-
and our writing handwriting
not
should be
very
good.
small handwriting, not very big also, but average handwriting. Fill your pages fast. Okay.
Yes.
And
So
keep
we have to
underlining
complete our
keywords
test.
in each para and change your paras fast. Okay.
So
Every
we have
new point, start a new para and
Yes.
underline the keyword in that para. Okay. What did I say about making introduction? How do you make introduction to your long answer? Sanjay, you want to say something?
Yes, sir, you just started this point. I highlighted the introduction should be impressive and the use of language related to the question to understand. And conclusion is based on the answer, not to write on your own, because it must be tartamyata is mandatory because every paragraph must be connected with each others. We cannot say that something about 1857 revolt and we cannot correlate with that the Bharat Chodo Andolan, Quit India movement. So the answer should be in the correlated and impressive. Language should be clear, right? Handwriting should be more visible, readable, error free, and sentences should be grammatically, it should be up to the marks. Use the punctuation and the full stop and inverted commas where it is required.
No, how to make introduction? What did I say? I mentioned 3 ways of making introduction.
Devish, you said intro for either, first of all, either you can start with an intro of the topic like Rebellion of 1857, you told us. Then either this way, or you can define. Definition, say you can begin, or one more way, like you can give the historical background of that, what you're talking about. You'll be giving the answer. You told us.
As
Yes. And
sir,
what
sir
was
said, the 1857 revolt is one of the most important incident of Indian history. And if we look into
very good.
that,
So that technique is called importance of the topic. 3 ways of making introduction. Bhavya, listen carefully. Importance of the topic. 2, historical background of the topic. 3, definition of any key word in the topic. 3 ways to make an introduction. Whether you are making a speech or you are writing for history questions or for literature question or for political science, any topic. These are the 3 ways to start. And the easiest is importance. If you are not able to make up your mind, start with the importance. Okay? If you are speaking on the stage, suppose let's do an exercise. Suppose there is a farewell of your teacher. Okay, farewell function. Suppose Rita ma'am used to teach you English literature and she is retiring from the school, and Bhavya is suddenly called upon by the principal to make a short speech in honor of Miss Rita. So Bhavya, start. What will you say?
Namaskar, sir, and my dear friends. Today, I want to speak on a teacher who is teaching in our school from last 20 years. She is one of our favorite teachers. She explained all the concept. Everyone know her name. Her name is Mrs. Rita Vijay. And in today, after 20 days, she is going to be retired, so we will be missing her, and we should be revising all the concepts and the thing that she told to her, and we should be missing her a lot, and we should wish her a happy retirement too. So in the last, I want to wish Rita ma'am a happy retirement. So thank you.
Very good, Bhavya. But this is, you started by using the importance. Okay, Miss Rita Vijay is retiring today. She is one of the best teachers whom everyone knows in the school because of her good nature and caring attitude, you could have said. Okay, this is by importance. But suppose you don't want to start by importance, Khushi, Bhavya started by using the importance technique to introduction. You use another technique like historical background. How will you start?
Good morning, everyone. And today I will speak few lines on our beautiful, caring teacher, Rita Vijay. So let's start. As we all know, there is a beautiful and caring teacher in our school, Rita Vijay, who used to teach us English like past 20 years from the 20 years. And after 10 days she gonna retire from his job, as we gonna miss her, and as we know that she is a English teacher, and she used to teach us like very nicely, and she used to clear our concept. And as we know, she used to just transfer from junior wing to senior wing for his work.
Okay, Khushi, wait.
Sir,
You are
I
again
want
using the wait. You are again using the importance approach to the introduction. Okay, you are talking about what was good in her, what is good in her. That is her importance. Okay.
oh,
Now it
sir, I
becomes a
want to
little
point out a
wait. Oh,
mistake.
Bhavya, you are really not improving your habit. Never ever interject suddenly. Please, always this is basic etiquette. If someone is speaking, you have to wait. Don't blurt suddenly. Okay. Now, I was saying that Khushi's again picked up on the technique of importance of the topic. But this becomes boring. So you could have said, I asked you to
Can I
start
try?
use the wait. I asked Khushi to start use the historical background approach. So how could she say? She would say, many students have spoken for Mrs. Rita Vijay, and everyone knows how we how important she was in our school and in our life. But I want to narrate a small incident, uh, how I met her first, and what a deep impression she left on me. As a toddler, when I was admitted in the class 1, on the very first day, I got a little hurt in the ground, and it was, I can never forget, Miss Rita Vijay gave me first aid and uh, spoke to my parents and was so loving. So this is historical background. Okay, that
So can I
gives.
try again?
Let me finish. This gives a little personal touch, and it saves you from repeating the general points. Everyone is saying she is very nice, she is very loving, very caring. It becomes boring. Sometimes you can use the other approach. Narrate something from your history, how you first interacted with her. When I came to this school for the first day, I was really nervous because I was coming from a very different background. But
So
it
can I
was Miss Rita Vijay on the very first day. She, the way she taught us, and she understood my nervousness, and she spent 10 minutes with me personally. I can never forget that day. Okay? Yes, Shushi. Now you take on.
Yeah. So today I want to tell one incident which happened with me when it was my first day in my school, and I was like crying. I don't want to go to school. I was crying. Then the Rita Vijay mom came and said, "Don't be crying. You are a big girl, and you can just." Then she just put his hand in my hand, and she just walked with me into my class, and she said that she just talked to my teacher that she's a new child, and so, and then when I come to in the second, so I come to hear that Rita Vijay ma'am has some angry nature, but I was like, she helped me in my first class, so I don't think so. But after and all, she was our drama and English drama teacher also. She was in charge of drama class. Then I just took part in the drama, and I just come to hear that Rita Vijay ma'am is the in charge of this show. Then I was like little nervous that she will able to just find me out that I'm that girl that I was crying that day. So
Okay,
she
good.
come
Don't be so long in your introduction.
okay.
Yeah, I'll just like to correct one usage as far as language is concerned. You use the term big girl. Big girl is not appropriate. You can say grown up girl. A teacher would say you are a grown up girl, not big girl.
Okay.
Big is used for non living things. Okay.
Okay.
However, you want to say something?
Yes, sir.
You wanted to say something?
No, sir.
Okay. So last approach was definition. Now this is a topic in which definition is very difficult to use, but you can use it. Who will try that? Lovely.
Yes, sir. Today I am here to speak about a person who has made a soft corner in all of our hearts. Yes, you are correct. I am here to speak about all of our favorite teacher, Miss Rita Vijay. Rita ma'am has always been a supportive hand for all of us. She has always supported and helped us in our weak corners. Today, on a retirement day, I want to share a lovely experience. When I was in grade 4, I had lack of confidence. One day in our class, we had speaking competition, and it was my chance. I was very nervous to speak and come on the stage. On that day, Rita ma'am helped me and encouraged me to come on the stage and and speak on the topic. From that day, I I have been coming here, and just because of her, today I'm standing in front of you and giving a lovely speech on her. Uh, I wish you luck. Sorry, sir.
Okay, lovely. But again, you are using the importance approach. Okay. I asked you to try and use the definition approach. Definition approach means that you pick up the most difficult term in the topic or question. In this topic, teacher is that conceptual difficult term. So you can, if you have to use this approach, you can say, we all have spoken about the caring and loving support we have received from Miss Rita Vijay. But I want to add another thing. What is a good teacher? This is definition. Okay. What is a good teacher? A good teacher is someone whom we remember not only for the knowledge he or she imparts, but also improves our character and motivation in life. Miss Rita Vijay is definitely one such teacher. Okay, this is the definition approach. Yes, Lovely, you want to say something?
No, sir, I just want
Bhavya, you want to say something?
Sir, I
Your
want
hand
to
is up.
add something on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, before thank you, I want to say that our teacher is our second mother after our real mother. She is the second mother in our life, and I want to say that 26 letters of the English cannot express my feelings about her.
Good. So I'm imagining if something happens to me, you will all be able to have a good condolence meeting for me.
Sure, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good
Yes.
night.
Good night, sir. Thank you for a wonderful session.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, sir. Have a nice day.